everybody to Denver. Isn't it a beautiful Colorado day? I told the speaker every day is like this in Denver, and we are so honored to have the speaker and the Democratic leadership and members of the caucus here with us. This is surely a historic time for our party and a historic time for our country. One of the things our next president, who will be nominated right here in Denver, Colorado, Barack Obama, will do is help us make a change for a new direction in this country by working with Congress to pass critical energy legislation that makes a real investment in alternative forms of energy. Today, the Democratic caucus, we took the mall shuttle down here to historic Union Station, which for over 100 years has welcomed visitors to Denver. Right behind us, we have one of the hybrid shuttles that brought us here today. And soon, thanks to the help of Jim Oberstar, who's here today, and Speaker Pelosi, this wonderful Union Station will be transformed into a hub for the 21st century mass transit system, Fast Tracks. And I personally want to thank Congressman Oberstar, the members of his committee, and all the members of Congress for helping us secure the $50 million to make this happen. There is so much more going on here. And the renewable portfolio standard, and on and on. Colorado's ground zero for renewable energy, wind and solar, because we know that alternative energy is the energy for the future. And so with that, setting that tone, I'm so proud to introduce my leader, my hero, Nancy Pelosi.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Diana DeGette, for your hospitality, for your tremendous leadership on this issue that relates to the biggest issue for us, the issue of energy security for our country. And I have a feeling that with Mr. Oberstar's leadership and the leadership's cooperation, this would not have happened without your advocacy of Diana DeGette for RTD hybrid bus for this whole initiative here. We're grateful to you, to Ed Perlmutter, there's Ed Perlmutter, John Salazar, for your leadership as well and your hospitality. I said John Salazar already. I'm so pleased that so many of our members from around the country have come together here to recognize the important role that Colorado, right here? You want to drill right here? Can we drill your brain? Let's do some intellectual drilling right now. What you see before you are the handmaidens of big oil. Handmaidens of big oil. Drill now. The fact of the matter is that we are here because we see this energy issue as a national security and economic security issue for our country. Great leadership is required now. For too long, the policies of the two oil men in the White House have reflected the demands of big oil, not the security of the American people and not the needs of the consumers and the taxpayers. Even Richard Nixon said when he was in the White House, he launched Project Independence, declaring, Richard Nixon, let this be our national goal. At the end of this decade, in the year 1980, the United States will not be dependent on any other country for the energy that we need to provide our jobs, to heat our homes, and to keep our transportation moving. It didn't happen then, but it will happen now because of the recognition that our national security depends on it, our economic security, the environment, the health of our environment, and if you believe as I do that this planet is God's creation, that we have a moral responsibility to do it. Now these drill now people reflect big oil and the oil men in the White House. Their solution will reduce the price at the pump 2 cents in 10 years. 2 cents. This is the 2 cents in 10 years crowd. This is the 2 cents in 10 years crowd. Instead, and this is a cruel hoax on the American people. Instead, Democrats are proposing, invite our Republican colleagues to join us in a comprehensive approach to this. Put everything on the table. We must reduce our dependence on oil and foreign oil. In order to do that, we must make investments. By the president's own numbers, by the way, it's 2 cents in 10 years. Even Texas oil man T. Boone Pickens says, this is one emergency we cannot drill our way out of. In the coming weeks, Democrats in Congress will take our country in a new direction for our energy future. We are hopeful that our Republican colleagues have had a chance to get outside of Washington and hear from the American people. We hope they will join a bipartisan effort to increase domestic supply, help consumers, protect the environment, reform the relationship between big oil and the taxpayers who own that oil in the first place. Yeah. It's our oil. It belongs to the American people. We want the big oil to have safeguards as to how they drill. We don't want to have subsidies. We do want them to pay royalties. This oil belongs to the American people. We have a comprehensive energy policy that will invest in clean, renewable resources like wind, solar, and biofuels. And Democrats have passed that in the House over and over again to be stopped by the Republicans in the Senate. We will promote greater efficiency and conservation. We'll responsibly drill to increase our domestic supply, protect the consumer, and expand our economy with millions of new green jobs. It builds on the historic energy we've enacted. I don't know if Mr. Dingell is here with us, our chairman of our Energy and Policy Committee, with Energy and Commerce Committee. We enacted into law in December with the first increase in vehicle efficiency standards in 32 years. Yeah. Thank you, Ed Markey. Thank you, Ed Markey. And a dramatic new commitment to American-grown biofuels. And so there is a choice. The choice that we have is to continue the failed energy policy of the two oil men in the White House, which has gotten us where we are today, or to say, let's put it all on the table. Natural gas is a transition for us. It's plentiful, it's clean, and it is cheap. So we have a golden opportunity, and I thank our drill-only folks for focusing on the distinction between us and them. They all want to drill for big oil's profits. We want responsible drilling for the consumer, for the environment, for the national security of America. And now it is my pleasure to... John McCain opposed offshore drilling until June, then he changed his position and raised over $1 million in 2 weeks from the oil companies. And so it's now my pleasure to yield to our distinguished leader, Mr. Hoyer of Maryland.